Dungy here. You declined an invitation to serve on the advisory council to the White House Office of Faith-Based and Neighborhood Partnership. You supported efforts in Indiana to ban same-sex marriage. Well, why did you make that decision? And tell us a little bit about the process.
I was contacted by the president's office and really considered it, wanted to do it. But when I looked at the whole thing, the timeline and what it would take for me to get to the meetings and that type of thing, I just felt I could use my time a little bit better, family, being at home, and some different projects I had.
What about the differences that you have because of your faith and his positions, because he's speaking at Notre Dame, we know about that controversy, but your positions on life and some other positions that are contrary to the President Obama's?
You know, that part didn't bother me. I think that was his idea of putting this group together, and to me, I kind of admired that he would want to have somebody who had different beliefs on some key issues on there. I just felt that I could be a voice and make my voice heard.
Well, let me add one final question. We'll let these guys weigh in. He said last week, we are not a Christian nation. Now, you know, almost that's what he said. But every other president in the past, from Ronald Reagan to Harry Truman to Wilson to our founders and framers, this country was founded on Judeo-Christian ethics. The idea that every human being and every soul was endowed by their Creator, and that living under freedom, that we can advance the human condition best because God will inspire people to be their best.
Well, I do think that is what we should be all about. Is that what we're all about? Are we a Christian nation? You know, I don't know that, but in my idea, that's what I would want to see us
But
be.
the country was founded on those Judeo-Christian principles, Bob, and it's incontrovertible, and every framer and founder and
let's remember the state of Rhode Island was founded for freedom of religion. There should be no faith-based initiatives in the White House. Obama should have gotten rid of it. Bush never should have brought it in. There is no reason to use federal money in faith. I happen to be a person of faith, and I find it extraordinary that Barack Obama, knowing him to be a good and decent man.
I want to agree with you. The best way to spend money, Bob, is to just give it to those bureaucrats. Nancy Pelosi and Barney Frank don't have enough.
Only you could take a serious discussion I was having and turn it into a Nancy Pelosi, Harry Reid diatribe. You want to do some more? Would you do more? Maybe we can get the Reverend Wright in here if you want to get that in here too.
Well, that does
Can I get back to my point? There is a separation of church and state. That's what the founders said. That's what it should be. And the last thing you need is a faith-based organization in the White House of all places.
Here's my, you know, I actually didn't support President Bush in the idea of faith-based organizations, but for, I think, a different reason than Bob. And I think what Coach is doing is probably doing more to reach out to people in the community than government dollars, going to organizations whose sole purpose really is, you know, religion. And if they take that money, then they cannot accomplish their goals of you know, converting people, talking about Christ.
Right.
And I, you know, my concern is I actually think that's fine. The United States is look, we're a secular country. Government is not.
Every past president, though, Karen, has believed that America is a Christian nation founded on Judeo-Christian principles.
We're not a Christian nation, Sean.
Wait, I hate to tell you this, but then you
not.
disagree with Jefferson, and you disagree with Adams, and you disagree with Harry Truman and Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush and every other president in between.
We're a secular organization. I'll tell you what, if the United States and those members of Congress represent Christianity, then you know what? There isn't a lot of hope for us, is there? Because you look at the members of Congress, you look at the members of the Senate. I don't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat. You have a government that puts up with corruption, they put up with prostitution, they put up with all sorts of things. That is not Christianity.
All right, more with our Great American panel, but first time to check in with Greta Van Susteren to see what she's got on this Monday evening in 20 minutes from now. Greta.